Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm back with another EVOMON video. And today will finally be the day that I do what I've been talking about all this time. To all the people who were hating, I will be finally doing a tier list of the actual skills. Now, fair warning, I am not on leaderboard. Okay, I was on leaderboard way back when, but I am not anymore. And this is just my opinion. You guys can have your takes. This is just my take. You know what I mean? So, let's go ahead and head to the website. And the website I will be using is evomon.wiki. I will put this in my description down below. And if you guys are enjoying my EVOMON content, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. That would really help me out. Okay, so first things first. Archipex. So if you guys don't know who Archipex is, this is Archipex. He is the last boss of the game, and basically he is a super hard boss to fight if you don't have the right people. Now you can definitely 1v1 it, but I'll go over that another time. So let's take a look at Archipex. So Archipex has Charge as its legendary trait. On its first switch in, deals double the damage. And that's very good, because a little something that I like to do is I like to go to Vanguard, because I increase my first turn damage by 22%, and I'll just basically start off with Archipex and I'll just instantly do like an insane amounts of damage. I don't even have to be super effective. So yeah, very good. On top of that, he is one of the only monsters in the game that has a move that doubles their next ability. And overall, his abilities are very good. I wish like a paralysis was a bit better, because instead of vulnerability, I wish it was more of like how Pokemon has it, where they have a chance to be stunned for a turn. You know what I mean? That's how I personally would like it, but unfortunately it isn't. It just makes them more vulnerable, meaning like you can stack it up to 10, I believe, and then you'll do more damage to them with every hit. It's still very good. He has a chain lightning and everything else. Overall, he covers a lot of fields. He's super fast, does a crap ton of damage, and overall has a really high HP. So honestly, I really like Archipex, and if we're really like tiering him, I think I'm going to put him top 3. First start, top 3. Honestly, because it's not even just because like, oh, Archipex is like this and that. No, I'm trying to glaze. Like, he genuinely is that strong. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, there are definitely people who can counter him, but personally, I think he is like that good. That's just me personally. Now, this might change when I fully like put everybody down, but yeah. So, Astronite. If you guys don't know who Astronite is, he is only obtainable through the battle pass, and basically if you have the premium pass, you can get the shiny version of him, which shiny makes it so that they have like increased stats versus a regular Astronite. So over here I will show off my Astronite right here, the goat. So overall he is very good. Obviously he sucks at special, but that's fine. He's a physical anyways. He's an overall well-rounded monster, but he's not very good at anything, if that makes sense. He's a very well-rounded monster. He has really high HP, I will say that. But he is the only monster in the game that has Protect. At least I think he's the only monster in the game. So for that reason, I think he is super good to stall. Like example, if you have Lava Rock's ultimate on, where it does like 60 like 6% of max HP damage every turn, you can just protect yourself and just basically wait until the other guy dies. I've used that technique plenty of times. So yeah, for that, honestly, I think I'm going to put him A tier, or yeah, I think I'm gonna put him A tier, because his move is only 3 PP, so he is a bit limited in my opinion. So now, fair warning, I don't have all of these evolutions, but I do have all of the monsters. I just don't have all of the, like, you know, evolutions of them and everything else. But yeah, so Blaze main. I do have Blaze main though. Blazimain is one of the starter Pokemon, or EVOMONs, and he is very, very cool. But overall, he has pretty well-rounded stats as well. He has very high overall stats, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at it like this, and on top of that, his abilities, he's able to do Cremate and Mirage. Mirage is basically, he can change the weather, which is very, very nice. Overall, he seems like a very well-rounded monster, and he's definitely a very good monster for like being a fire type. But considering he is only a fire type, he doesn't really, like, how do you say, stand out. Like, because flame tier can also be unlocked from lava rock as well, you know what I mean? So I feel like lava rock already covers a lot of fire, and because he is just fire, he isn't really that crazy in my opinion. Now definitely if you wanted to go the distance and use this guy as like a bunch of like burn damage type of guy, you could, but I think overall lava rock would be a bit better in my opinion. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in B tier. I'm not saying he's trash, I'm not. I'm just saying there are better options, you know what I mean? Like, he's good at what he does, but there are people who are just as good, if that makes sense. But yeah, I will say though, little upside is, yes, you have your weaknesses, but that means you don't have a second element weakness, you know what I mean? But he is weak to 5 different types, so that is something you should definitely pay attention to. Bubblade. Now, if you guys don't know, I started off with Bubblade. So he is, in my opinion, the best starter because he instantly lets you like zoom past the first 3 islands. But yeah, so let's go ahead and look at his traits. During rain, water type skills gain 40 power. If you guys don't know, rain is his he's able to cast the weather effect just like the other guy. So in that effect, he is able to actually do increased damage, so that is something that's very, very nice and very, very good. However, I don't really see him as something spectacular. Like, I feel like there are definitely better options in my opinion, but overall I think he might be, honestly, I think he might be the better water type. He might honestly be the better water type. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that. Let me actually check the index real quick because I need to understand what... Yeah, he's just a water type as well. So the only difference between Clampip and this guy is the fact that Clampip has a counter. Like, he's able to learn counter, I believe. Either counter or protect, one or the other. But overall, his stats are more towards the... he's kind of weak at everything else, so I would say Glass Cannon, my opinion. So you know, take that what you will. But yeah, so I don't really think he's that crazy good. I think he excels in water, and I think the only other guy that could really cover it is the Clam guy and obviously Meerfish. So I'm unfortunately going to put him top of B tier. I still think he's better than Blazimain because of usefulness. Like, example, you know, he has 1 less weakness, which, I mean, makes sense considering he's not as super effective to other monsters, but still, I think he is better in my opinion. That's just me personally. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Cherantom. So, if you guys don't know what Cherantom is, he is the evolution of, or the evolved version of Cherantom. Let me see, Cherantom. So this is Cherantom. Very, very cool looking. He is a solid flying type. So let's go ahead and look at Cherantom's moves because I don't have him evolved. We can look at his moves over here. He has multi-twister, which is a very good like multi-hitting attack for wings and everything, or for flying I mean. He has razor wing, which can place bleed, which bleed is a very good effect as well. And wing smash is actually very, very good. If you guys don't know what wing smash does, it basically doubles the bleed stacks. So example with gust, I can inflict 1 stack And then I can keep inflicting like one stack, and then eventually I can just do wing smash and it'll double all the stacks of blood. If I'm not mistaken, I believe bleed stacks up to 10 or 15. I'm not too sure on that one. But all I know is that bleed is one of the best status effects in the game, I believe. So he is very, very good, and I do not believe where is he? I do not believe Sunder Crane even has that. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. So, in that regard, I'm actually going to put Triplume top of. Ooh, I think I'm gonna put him S tier because I think he might be the best bleed effect monster in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but as far as I know, he seems to be the best bleed monster in the game. Not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm actually pretty confident in putting him in S tier. Now Chitladin. I don't have Chitladin, but I do have the pre-evolved version of Chitladin. Over here, Chitladin. I actually don't think I have it on me at the moment, but Chitladin is a very good like tanky monster. It covers bug and poison, which is a very, very good combination. Let me see if I can. Yeah, okay. So if we go to its moves right here, it has insect rush, smoke cover. Smoke cover is very, very good. I think he is like smoke cover is surprisingly kind of uncommon of a move. I think I can only know like 2 others that have smoke cover. But yeah, if you guys don't know, smoke cover is very, very good. It lowers their accuracy by 2, and that could honestly save you in a boss fight in the tower. Bug drain, 100% lifesteal, poison spy removes all stats, boosts and stuff like that. Poison, venom spray, very, very good moves. And honestly, he has the defense to back it up. So I really do like Chitladin, and I think he's a very good monster to go for, honestly, because if you guys don't have, or if you guys are having issues like putting stacks of accuracy, it probably has to do with the type advantage. So being bug and poison kind of gives him like a counter to what the bug is weak to, because if he has poison as well, he won't be as weak to poison damage, if that makes sense, even though it says he's weak to it. So in that regard, I think he's gonna be I think he's an amazing like status effect placer, and also he has a lot of HP, so I think he's honestly a very solid pick. S tier. Datunnymph, I think that's how you pronounce it. Over here, where is she? Right here. So I named her Squash. As you can see, I have her more towards special attack and HP, mostly because her stats heavily go towards special attack, HP, and speed. So very, very good. And one of my first introductions to Psymark with Hallucination. But overall, I think she's a solid monster, but I don't think she's like crazy amazing. I think she is still very, very good and very, very modifiable because of like all her other moves that do a lot of damage, but I don't see her being too crazy. I think there's just too much disparity between them, because I feel like they have a lot of like weaknesses, because I think, hold on, yeah, I think yeah, so with that, she is weak to like a multitude amounts of like weaknesses and everything else. So I think she's very, very good early game. I just don't see, I don't see why you would have her later on, because she kind of loses her effects, because there's a better poisoner, there's a better Psymark person, and there's a better like grass type, you know what I mean? And she just has too much to really like kind of cover overall. So I think I'm gonna put her above no, I'm gonna put her above Bubblade because she's still able to put hallucination or Psymark, so I think she's still pretty good. But I just think there are better monsters. I'm gonna put her A tier actually, because I used her for quite a while. Now Fluffastar. Let's go ahead and take a look at their abilities. If you guys don't know who Fluffastar is, it is a little llama monster, which I think is debating my existence because of its AoE moves that it had. Very, very good monster overall, like a solid tanky monster. Let's see if I can actually get the monster. Okay, I somehow ended up catching a triple S. That's pretty funny. But yeah, as you can see, obviously it's not evolved, so I can't really tell you too much about the stats itself. But yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the abilities of it. Rock Throw, Sandstorm is the same move that Lava Rock has, except Lava Rock is its ultimate, but Sandstorm is about the same thing, pretty much. Wild Ram, Rock Slide, Fighting Will. These are all pretty decent attacks. Deal 3 times to 5 times power and damage to the target. Sand attack is pretty decent, but overall I don't think it's too crazy of a monster. Its ability to learn other skills are pretty good, but overall I don't see it being too crazy of a monster. Like, I don't see people really using it too often. I think Sand Attack has the potential to be something kind of broken, but other than that, I don't see it being like overall too crazy. So yeah, that's just kind of my take on it. I know it's a pretty tanky monster, but I don't really see it being like something amazing, something incredible, you know what I mean? It's not just the fact that like there are others to cover what it does. I just don't think it does anything else for the team, you know what I mean? I think it's more of a loner monster. So for that, I'm actually gonna put it like probably like middle B tier, because I just don't see it really like putting much effects, you know what I mean? Like its skills, it feels like the skills are very like lacklustered. So yeah. Frostelli, where is it? Oops, I didn't mean to grab it. Frostelli, so we can go ahead and look at Frostelli. If I find the guy, here he is. Stardrift. So let's go ahead and look at its abilities. It is a grass ice type, which is very good coverage. It's able to place 1 stack of frostbite, which is very good. Vine Drain, Rap Assault, Hail, Leech Seed. It's one of those monsters that I personally think is a very good frostbite stacker, because she is able to utilize Leech Seed, which, if you guys don't know, Leech Seed is very good if you are going against a monster that is just like staying alive a long time. You could make yourself stay alive a long time as well. So in my opinion, it's a very good covered monster that covers ice and grass fairly well, and I've had a bunch of trouble with it in like the tower. It was crazy. So in my opinion, I think the coverage for everything is very nice, and I don't see it really losing to anything too like I don't really see it losing like in a straight up like fight unless it's against something super effective, in which case obviously I'll lose. But for that, I think I'm gonna put it S tier, because I think its coverage is very nice, and I might actually put it above Chitladin because it can put Leech Seed, stay alive, and consistently put Frostbite to the point where you have like only half your HP, and then you can just finish off all your monsters. Now this does have to do with its ability to stay alive, so you do have to like worry about its defense and HP and stuff like that. Frostier. If you guys don't know who Frostier is, it's the evolution of Frostlet, but I can actually show you the evolution of it right here. As you can see, it's very heavy towards special attack, HP, and speed, which is very good. Its special trait is Chill Wind. In my opinion, kind of, but it's kind of booty, because I mean, like, why would I really even want this? Because I know, yes, it inflicts one additional stack of frostbite, but I just don't see it being like something game changer, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it'll end up dying before I even get it, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's go ahead and look at its abilities. Its abilities are fairly good, I will say. Like obviously, like if I have a crap ton of frostbites, then I'll just add 20 power to each one of those stacks, you know what I mean? Which is very, very good. It's a very, very good move. But this is one of those scenarios where there are monsters that already cover this and can do it just I would say, okay, when it comes to frostbite, I will say he can put more frostbite on like faster, early on faster. However, he doesn't have the healing abilities to make him stay alive as long as the other one. So for that, I'm going to put him middle of well, I'm gonna put him above Astronite because his frostbite abilities are still very, very good, and overall he has very, very good AoE moves, so I'm gonna put him top of A tier. Now Gem Press, I don't see many people talking about Gem Press. Okay, now I did see a meta tier list where some guy was talking about Gem Press being kind of but in my opinion, okay, if I just made its speed way, way fast, like if I just buffed its speed a lot, he would be insane. Because example, Swarm Assault is the only monster that can place Confusion. If you don't know what Confusion is, for 3 turns overrides any hostile skill attempt with 40 power normal type moves. Basically saying, if I hit him with this for 3 turns, he's just gonna hit me with a regular scratch attack. And then I can basically upgrade myself, get myself a bunch of power, and then since it's only 6 energy, I get it back so fast, so I can hit him with it again, and basically get him with this Wing Blade, and every time I use this attack, I get 20 power, and then I can hit him with the Confusion again, and then I can hit him with Wing Blade, and then Confusion, keep upgrading myself, etc, etc. It's like a never-ending loop, and genuinely, if honestly, I'm going to try to up his speed, to make him like way, way faster, but genuinely one of the best 1v1 pets in the game. That's my take personally, because even if you're going against a Leech Seed Teragon, right, if you're just constantly confusing it and you get in and you basically give yourself enough time to do so much damage, even though it's constantly healing itself, you're gonna be able to one tap it. You're going to be able to one-tap it. Because you have to understand, this is your ultimate, so you don't run out of PP for this ability. You see what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, Unseen, when attacking a target with stat boost, steal 2 random stat stages. Basically, if you're going against a guy who is just buffing himself, every single time I attack, I get one of their stat stages. Is that not insane? Like, that me personally, I really like Gem Press, and personally, I put him top 3 monsters in terms of like 1v1 battles. You know what I mean? Like if you are fighting another monster and it's just one guy, majority of the time, if you are faster, you will be able to beat that monster with just Gem Press. Like I promise you, Gem Press is actually like that good, in my opinion. That, like, through my experiences, he's always been like someone who's very, very good, unless you're going against a boss in the tower who's just immune to status effects, because Confusion is a status effect. So yeah, just letting you guys know that now. Now Glacitadel or Glacitadel, I have looked at his abilities, and he seems like he's insane. Can't even lie, he seems like kind of insane. So he's obviously a tank type of monster, and his ability with Snow Lance, Hail, Snowfall, he's able to change the weather and everything else. He's just genuinely a better ice type than Frostier, or the Frostlet evolution guy. Like, he is able to just place all of this, do this frozen, and everything else, and he has rest as well. He's kind of like a Snorlax. Basically, he is what would have made Frostlet. He would have made Frostier like S tier if Frostier had the same moves as Glacitadel. because he is not only a tank who has a good bit of HP stats, and on top of that, he is able to heal himself. On top of that, he's able to place 4 Frostbite. On top of that, he is also able to just do massive amounts of damage while staying alive consistently. So for that, I'm going to put him above Frostelli simply because he is only one typing. So he's only weak to like other ice types, obviously, and obviously he only has the super effectiveness against these guys. But in return, that means he only has 3 weaknesses. You see what I'm saying? So in my opinion, he is better than Frostelli. They can honestly go bar for bar, but I just think Glacitadel is just like that much better. You could actually argue him being better than Cherantom. I just genuinely like Bleed. I like Bleed more than Frostbite. Because if I were to stack Bleed, I would just be doing a crazy amounts of damage. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my take on that. Leaf Blade. Like we were talking about, Leaf Blade is one of those grass types that is just better. That is just a better grass type. Leaf Blade, Vine Drain, etc., etc. We go over here down to its better abilities. Leaf Razor, Verdant Beam, Leech Seed. It's one of those like he boxes for real. You know what I mean? Like he goes up there, he boxes for real. All skills gain 15 power for this battle. So another thing is Leaf Rush. Every time you use your ultimate, you can kind of just stack this 15 power. So he is pretty insane for like a long time fight. You know what I mean? So he can just place Leech Seed and just kind of like, you know, just box it out pretty much. He has Vine Thorn, or Vine Drain, I mean, which he can just steal HP, full Purify if he ever gets like stats on him, and just overall a solid pick for a grass type monster. But unfortunately, there are better monsters suited for this kind of role. I think Leech Seed keeps him alive for a very long time, so in the long run, yes, he could be very, very good. But I just don't see him being like insane, so I'm going to put him like maybe here in the middle, I'd say. And I know I was like, oh yeah, Bubble is like so good, etc., etc. So why is Leaf Blade an A rank? Because when you kind of get to end game, Leaf Blade I think is better than these two. But obviously early game, I think Bubble is very, very good. Meerfish, let's go ahead and look at Meerfish. Do I have the fish guy? I thought I had the fish guy. But if you guys don't know who Meerfish is, this is Meerfish. He is a like whale or catfish. Yeah, it's a catfish. So he's a water ground type, which is honestly a very good typing. Let's go ahead and quickly catch the fish real quick. Alright, so now that we have Meerfish, we can actually look at its abilities, or Gulpfish. So we can actually look at how its abilities actually work. Tsunami Whirl, pretty basic stuff, but then it introduces ground type coverage. Quicksand, in my opinion, I use Quicksand because I am able to lower its defenses by 2 stages, and you can just keep kind of stacking this, and it will instantly like add -2, -2, -2, -2. You know what I mean? It's in my opinion, it's a pretty good move. It's a pretty good move. Wave Strike is a very good move as well. 50% chance to inflict 50 fixed damage. Basically, even if it does 0 damage, it'll always do 50 damage because of the inflicts 50 fixed damage. But that's only a 50% chance, so do be warned. Also deals 25% of the damage dealt to EVOMON. So with Aqua Rush, it's kind of like you ever seen those like double-edged swords? So basically, if you can hit the guy for a lot of damage, but you will also take 25% of that damage. See what I'm saying? So I will say, because he is a ground type, he is able to learn that ground type typing, which makes him very, very strong, especially against like fire types, like you are just gonna dominate any fire type that comes your way. But you do have to pay mind that you are double negative against a grass type, meaning if a guy spits on you with a leaf, you will probably die. Like, because that super effectiveness is no joke. That super effectiveness is no joke. But overall, I think he's a very, very good water coverage guy. And Quicksand really helps him to put those status effects. And Sandstorm, he is also able to do Sandstorm, which is also a very good, like, kind of coverage move. Let me see. Does it actually... I'm not sure if it affects him or not. All non-ground and on. Yeah. So because he's a ground type, he does not get affected by the Sandstorm as well. So he's a very, very good stall type of monster. And I believe he has some pretty solid HP stats. I'm going to put him top of A tier. I don't see him being super, super crazy cracked. But because of how much coverage he does have, I do see him as he's better than Frostier. Because I think, like, in endgame, Meerfish would be better than Frostier. Just simply because of the ground coverage. Like, genuinely. You don't understand how good ground coverage is until you don't have a ground type. Mopillo. Let's go ahead and look at Mopillo. I don't know if I actually have his pre-evolve version, so let me go get that real quick. Alright, now that I have Mopillo, we can go ahead and look at its abilities. Rock Blast, Rock Throw. I did not know it had rock moves. I thought it was only going to have normal type moves. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Gravity Crush. So this is one of the only normal type monsters in the game. I think he might be the only normal type. But he is one of the few monsters that knows counter. And, oh, he can inflict confusion as well. Very, very nice. But it's only a 25% chance to, like for it to work. True hits, all out attack, critical focus, gravity crush, all very, very good moves, but I don't see him being super amazing. The fact that he is only weak to these two typing does make him very, very strong though. I can definitely see him like being a tank monster where he's meant to just stay alive and then you can use counter to just put all the damage back to him. That's definitely a strategy I can see being used. And for that, I think I'm going to put him into either high A or low S, because you guys don't understand how strong counter actually is as a move. And on top of that, he's able to at least inflict confusion, or at least try to inflict confusion. And he does have a little bit of rock coverage, which is nice. But yeah, it's really just because of his counter move. It really is that game changing. Like, counter as a move, it's an insane move. Pumash. Alright, now to finally pull out one of my favorite monsters, Pumash. So he is a very, 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 very strong monster. If you can look at his stats, he's very, very physically he's very more towards his strength. So he is kind of a glass cannon, just a little bit. So basically he's just meant to beat the crap out of people, and he even has true damage, which is one of his traits. Basically, if a guy increases his defense and special defense, you will always take it as if nothing ever happened. So you can just punch straight through it, you know what I mean, even though it was meant to block your entire attack. So very, very good moves. In my opinion, he goes hand to hand with Astronite, but he is a little better in my opinion, because majority of the time I will use him to just do massive amount of damage, because when he's super effective to a monster, he is super effective, because he also knows one of the strongest fighting type moves in the game, which is Rider Kick, which basically every time you use it, you increase your attack by 1. So that's pretty insane, like as a movie in general. So move in general. So yeah, in my opinion, he is going top of A tier. I think Pumash is very, very good. I just don't think he has the coverage to really carry you through the game. I think he's a very, very good startup, but I don't think he is someone who hangs in the bigger leagues in the tower. That's just my opinion though. Spikeumain. If you guys don't know who this is like the little hedgehog guy. Let's see. Where is he? Take a look at him right here. Spike Hub. This is Spikeumain, the evolution of him, which is also a very, very good ground type coverage. So let's go ahead and actually go grab one really quickly. Alright, now that I have Spike Hub, we can go ahead and look at his abilities. As you can see, he has Ambush, which is a pretty decent move. Mud Slap, pretty good as well. He does have Block, but in my opinion, Block is a really trashy move because you have to be able to use it first. It doesn't give you a priority like Protect does. So basically, if your monster is fast, this is very good. But if your monster is slow, Block is actually such a throw like ability in my opinion. He has pretty good coverage for AoE. Earth Pulse, Earthquake, double AoE moves. Fissure is a decent ultimate, but in my opinion kind of a trash ultimate. I guess it does increase his speed, but by that point it's like a little too late. Immolate is very good as long as your monster has a lot of HP, but in all I don't see him being like game changer. I think he has a very good like ground typing, but in my opinion I don't see him being like something that's like, oh, this is revolutionary, you know what I mean? So for that I'm gonna put him like maybe a bottom A tier. I think he just doesn't have enough coverage. I think he's a good monster. I just don't think he has enough coverage. Now, Star Muse. Okay, now we can get talking. So, Star Muse is, in my opinion, a very good monster. He is able to, or she is able to, place the... Let me see, the Mind Insight, which is a way better hallucination because I place 5 at a time, and because of my trait I'm actually able to place 1 extra effect. Now this is only very good because I know that she's gonna end up dying, so I really only use her to place a ton of psi marks, because whenever I do another attack that isn't psychic attack, then I will do another bit of damage like afterwards. Like I think the stack is 10, I believe, and so after that stack oh no, it's not 10, it's 15, I believe. After that you are doing like an extra 400 damage pretty much, but I guess it matters on the max HP of the monster, but I've been doing like 200, 300, 400 damage like every time I hit, even if the hit doesn't do a lot of damage. This is just another good way to really like do all that, you know what I mean? On top of that, it has pretty good coverage with itself. Like it's able to remove like target stat boost and everything else, and on top of that it's able to like do extra damage if that monster already has psi mark on it. So in my opinion, a very good monster, and in my opinion I still use it to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna actually put that above Frostbite because I think Psymark is one of the best effect type of like abilities, or best status effect moves. So now we can go ahead and talk about Sunder Crane. If you guys don't know who Sunder Crane is, he is one of the bosses from the Flying Territory. I think his trait is very good, because an additional 18% damage, that's just insane, because he's almost at 400 damage as well. So in my opinion, he is a very good monster, and he is a very fast monster as well. 349 speed. He is able to place bleed as well. I do not believe he can duplicate it, like double it, just like the other guy. But yeah, so it's definitely like a monster that you would want to go into speed and attack, because he's kind of gonna be a little bit glass cannon, but not quite a glass cannon, if you know what I mean. But yeah, definitely someone that you should have if you're trying to like just one tap monsters. So the ability to place bleed is very good, but it's real strength goes into when it's dealing with a bunch of enemies. So Cyclone Spiral and its ultimate are both AoE moves, and if I really wanted to take it up a notch, Multi Twister is also a multi-hit move. So in my opinion, a very solid monster. I would put it top of A tier. It's a very solid monster, and I still use it to this day whenever I need like a flying type coverage. But now we can go ahead and talk about Teragon. You guys don't know who Teragon is? Teragon, in my opinion, is such an insane monster. Just take a look at its HP real quick. 749 HP, and I don't even have boots. I don't even got boots on. Check it. 762 HP. Like, insane amounts of HP. But that's not even what makes it that insane. It's the fact that its trait takes 60% less damage while at full HP. It used to be 70%, but I think they just changed it. But yeah, 60% less damage while at full HP. So if you already know who this is, to the people who don't know who this is, let me tell you real quick. So, super easy. Watch this. Place 10 seed bombs. You get 10 healing, basically, or you get 10 stacks of growth, which just basically restores like 500 HP each time. And on top of that, you can place Leech Seed, which drains 10% of the target's max HP each turn. So you have double healing that is going straight to you. And on top of that, every time you're at full HP, you take 60% less damage. So if a guy is going to do like 100 damage to me, I'm only taking 40 because I'm at full HP. And then after that attack, I heal back to full HP. So this is how people are like 1v1ing bosses because of this kind of a cheese strat. But yeah, so it's definitely a very, very strong ability. And overall, he is honestly the undying EVOMON. Like, genuinely. The only way to kill him is to just one-tap him. And you have to one-tap him while doing 60% reduced damage. And you have to do 762 damage in one hit. That's insane. So for that, I'm going to put him top of the tier. I was going to say S tier, but top of the tier. Now, this could change around, but in my opinion, very, very good monster. Thor Lord. If you guys don't know who this is Dave, who is a Thor Lord. And in my opinion, a very good monster that can put a crap ton of status effects. He is one of the monsters that can lower accuracy, but not only that, he's able to do Seed Bomb as well to make sure that he stays alive. And then I just put Smoke Cover, reduces all his accuracy to 50%, and then I just put Quicksand and just reduce all of his defense by like whatever crap. That's how I use him. He is known as my status effect god, or my skill effect god, basically. Like, he makes it so that you are just unable to play the game. And for that, I think he is super duper strong. And I would put him above... Ooh. I'm a little biased, okay? I'm a little biased. I'm going to put him behind Glacitadel. Okay, he is very, very good monster. He is one of the only monsters that can place, or that can hurt its accuracy. So yeah, definitely pay that in mind. And on top of that, it has pretty decent HP, like a solid lineup of stats. Nothing too crazy good at, but overall nothing it lacks in. So it's definitely very, very good to just kind of take hits. You know what I mean? Even if it's super effective hits. But yeah, Tin Core, I believe, is the only steel type monster in this game. But yeah, Tin Core, I have a legendary, or not legendary, I have a shiny version of Tin Core. As you can see, his stats vary a lot. He is definitely a monster who's he just takes hits. You know what I mean? He's meant to just take hits. He is one of the tanks where he doesn't have anything special to heal himself. Nah, he just has a lot of defense. That's it. He has Iron Fortress. You know what I mean? He has Protect. He's one of the monsters where if you want to just stay alive, this is your guy. Like, straight up. This is your guy to just stay alive. And you have to remember, he's only level 90. 400 HP already. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just think about it. And honestly, he is probably one of the best stalling monsters or protecting monsters in the game. And for that, I'm going to put him at the bottom, or not too high on the tier list. Not too high on A tier. He is a very, very good defensive monster, but I don't think he has enough coverage to really hang in the S tier. Twirl B. You guys don't know who that is. That is a little like evolution of a mosquito guy. Let me see if I can actually find the pre-evolution of it. Here we go, right here. So this is Humding. He turns into like another mosquito looking thing, and then he turns into the final evolution, obviously. So just like the other guy with the bug types, he's able to do a bunch of bug type moves and wing combo, which places bleed. Very, very good. It's a very good bleed type of monster because you're kind of protected. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have like an ability to use smoke cover. You have the ability to use poison spike. You know, just overall, you have very nice coverage. You know what I'm saying? And overall, its abilities are kind of okay, but it's, in my opinion, I think the best way to use this guy is probably to just stack a bunch of bleed and just lower his accuracy, and that's probably the best way to use him. So with that being said, I think he is going bottom S tier, or I'm gonna put him above Mopillo because his ability to just reduce accuracy and on top of that stack bleed is just pretty insane. Viparch. You guys don't know who this is. He's a very fast monster. I think one of the fastest in the game. Also known as a glass cannon because all their stats went into strength and speed. So it's also very known as an as a glass cannon. So as you can see here, his trait isn't the best. When inflicting poison, also inflicts one additional stack. I never really use him to stack poison. I kind of use him for his counter attack, and because he's so fast, he's also able to just do a good bit of damage like really quickly before anything. So yeah, so in my opinion, it's a very good monster. Its abilities are pretty good. I don't see it really being like on the insane level of other monsters, but I definitely see it being a pretty high and decent monster because of its counter ability. So I'm gonna put it like above here because I love its ability to counter, and that's just, you know, that's just what I think personally. Volcrest. You guys don't know who Volcrest is. He is the evolution of Bluebird, I believe. But yeah, you've definitely fought him as a boss because, you know, you had to. Level 120, 500 HP, pretty decent overall stats, and I think is the fastest monster in the game. I could be wrong, but I think he's the fastest monster in the game with a base stat of 120. Now, as you can see here, he has lightning and wind coverage. He is able to do wing combo, which inflicts bleed, so he's a very good bleed inflictor. He doesn't have the ability to like stack it, but he's able to just like, you know what I mean, like he's able to place it, and on top of that he's able to place electrify, which just places 3 stacks of paralysis. So he's honestly one of my he's one of my status effect placers because I know he's gonna go first, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of what I think of him, to be honest. Other than that, if you're not placing status effects and you're just using him like he is, he would be a pretty hard monster. But I think because he covers so much coverage, I'm gonna put him, I'm gonna say above Frostelli because I just like the ability to cover lightning and everything else. I think it's just very nice. Wispex, let's see if I can find, here it is. So Wispuff turns into like another Wisp thing, and then that one turns into like another Wisp thing. So basically its moves are a poison psychic type, so it's able to place poison and like obviously psychic, but it doesn't seem like a game changer, more or less just a monster who is very good at what it does. Target inflicts 2 stacks of time. Ooh, well, if I got this would actually be pretty damn good on it. But yeah, so overall I don't really see it being something insane. Its ability to place hallucination is right here, but I don't think it's like, you know what I mean, like it's I don't know, he doesn't seem that impressive to me. Just personally, he doesn't seem that impressive to me. He looks amazing, but he doesn't really seem too impressive to me, so for that I'm gonna put him top of A tier. Now we're finally on to the Clam. Let me see if I have the evolution. I do not, so we're gonna go ahead and pick that up real quickly. Alright, so now that we have Clam Pip, we can actually look at its abilities. It is strictly a water type. It doesn't give anything else, like no other water type abilities, or I mean no other typing abilities. It does have counter as well. Its abilities are pretty decent. It's able to rest as well to heal itself 20% of HP, and able to cast Rain Dance as well. A very decent monster. The ability to counter is very good as well, and I know that like if like, you know what I mean, like if how do I say this, if I were to really rank him, I think he is a very useful monster, and if you ever go against a monster that's just like beating the crap out of your other counter type monsters, then this is a very good coverage type of monster. But I don't see it helping the team very much because rain only helps water type moves. So for that, I'm gonna put it bottom S tier, or actually I'm gonna put it above Viparch because I think its ability to like have a lot of defense is something that's going to be a very big factor whether or not it's going to be able to use counter, you know what I mean? Now epoxy or epoxy, whatever its name is, I don't actually have one of them. Let me go ahead and grab one real quick. All right, now that I have Sir Skit, He is also a monster that has 3 evolutions, by the way. So yeah, Flame Dance, Fireball Blast, Meltdown, EVOMON immune to status conditions for 2 turns. It's decent, but when you're going against another monster, they don't typically use a lot of status conditions, at least not in the tower. Majority of the times, it's really just poison people or psychic monsters that place a lot of, status effects. So yeah. Now, Soulburn Strike at level 140 is a very good move because Fatigue or Exhausted is a very, very good move. Basically making it like skip its turn if you actually hit it. So yeah, very, very good move. And I think because of that, I'm actually gonna put this guy fairly high because I think because it has Restore, Speed Rush, Cinder, Flame Dance. Yeah, it even inflicts burn damage whenever it does damage. So I think because it can place Fatigue, I can definitely see why you would use this guy. I'm gonna put him above Frostelli, because I think the fire coverage is very, very good. Now, obviously, yes, fire type is weak to a lot of things, but its ability to place Fatigue is very, very good. And on top of that, its speed stats are pretty decent. Like, they're not something that's like he's not a slow monster, you know what I mean? So as long as you make him into like a Speedy Gonzalez type of monster, then you should be able to like use him pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, so let's go ahead and look at Lava Rock. Lava Rock, my main squeeze. I've always used him. I started from the beginning and I was just using him, and I still use him now. He is an extremely tanky monster who has counter, and on top of that, one of the best traits in the game where he has 100% lifesteal for all burn damage. So example, when you are going against multiple enemies, if I have burn on every single one of those enemies and it does like 100 damage to all 3 of them, I get 300 HP back. See what I'm saying? And example, it stacks up to 20, so that could be like 500 damage. So basically I'll be healing 1500 every single time. See what I'm saying? And it does that much damage as well, so it's insane. And on top of that, I was lucky enough to get 2 monsters with Ember Birth, so if I have both of them on the field, they both get that HP. So it's very, very good in my opinion. And he is an extremely tanky monster. 105 physical defense, 72 special defense. He is very, very slow, so I recommend just dumping his like speed stats because he's never going to be fast enough to like beat other monsters who are just naturally faster than him. 700 HP is also very, very good. Fire Strike, Cinders, Hone 1, Stone Edge, Wildfire, Earth Power, Flame Tear, Dust Cyclone. He is one of the guys that I was talking about where he can cover fire damage as well, because you can honestly just switch these out and just put like Flame Tier just for having the coverage and etc, etc. But yeah, I'm a little biased towards it, but in my opinion, Lava Rock is a top tier monster, and honestly I would stake him above Volcrest because I think he's a very, very good monster, and I just think his ability to use like his ultimate and everything, Sandstorm, etc. I think he's a very, very good monster, and he isn't he's really hard to kind of like kill as well. I will say grass type moves do mess him up a ton, and strangely enough, I never really struggle against water types, but I know they are super effective against me as well. Peb Golem. I don't have a Peb Golem, but I do, I can still talk about Peb Golem. So Boulder Dash, Iron Fortress, Mud Slap. He is a, I believe, stone and like stone and ground type. He is pretty decent of a monster, but he is like probably the definition of like, oh, this is a tank. You know what I mean? Like he's meant to just basically not die. He's meant to just sit there and just take a buttload of damage, just block it. And for that, because he doesn't really have anything going for him, I'm probably gonna put him bottom, like around this type of A tier. Now finally, Sylvanark. Okay, let's go ahead and look. Leaf Storm, very, very good, plus 10 power every single time. Now this is a very interesting monster because he is also a staying alive type of monster, but he doesn't seem to be as Like, I don't know. It's weird. He's a good monster, but I don't know. He's something about him just, I don't know. He doesn't seem that crazy to me as well, if that makes sense. He has a crap ton of weaknesses, and even though he has a crap ton of HP and like abilities to just heal himself, he just doesn't feel like he has the appropriate coverage. He has 50% max HP at turns and while under 50% HP. Yeah, this is another thing as well, because if you heal 15% max HP, because sometimes someone would just hit you and you do half your HP already, so it's also a very good trait as well. But unfortunately, I don't see it being like something game changer, so unfortunately this is where I'm going to put it. Right there, because it still has a lot of defense, and it's still, well, maybe I'm being a little too mean. Yeah, I'm being a little rough. I would say right here, because its ability to stay alive is still a big factor. And overall, guys, it was very hard to make this tier list because I was just kind of going off of what I personally think, and I could be wrong. There could be other strategies that I just don't really know of, but overall, guys, this is really what I was like thinking about, you know what I mean? So definitely let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this tier list and whether or not I screwed it up or not. But yeah, this is an incredibly long video, but I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys want to know what this website is, it'll be down in my description below. Also, the codes will be there as well. But yeah, guys, other than that, I think that will conclude my meta tier list, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later!